today's class. And today's class, what is the concept we are going to be discussed here means today's class. What is the concept we are going to be discussed here means storage classes, as well as what we are going to discuss about the storage classes. In our first unit, what is the concept we have not discussed means storage classes. Inside the storage classes, what is the purpose of using auto keyword, what is the purpose of using external keyword, and what is the purpose of using static keyword, and what is the purpose of using register keyword. Today's class we are going to be discussed. And inside the car, suppose inside the real time, if we take one example of a car. Inside the car, what are the things are being visible? Inside the car, what are the things are being visible? Inside the car, whatever the usability things are there, those things are itself being visible. What are the things are invisible means, what are the things are being invisible means, the car engine is invisible. And okay, car engine is invisible. By using that engine only, the car is going to be run, car is going to be worked. Like that, inside the program, uh, okay, inside the program, to make the how we are going to hide the data, and how we are going to make the data as visible. And for okay, for hide visibility and invisibility, what are the which type of variables we are going to be used. Inside the C language, we are going to have two types of variables. What are the two types of variables we are going to have means local variables and global variables. Inside the C language, what are the two types of variables we are going to have? Local variables and global variables we are going to have. And how those variables are going to be declared. And whenever we are declaring a variable of auto type means, what is the advantages there? What is the, if we are declaring the external variable with the external means, what is the advantage is there? uh, like that we are going to see. Okay, static and register. And today's class we are going to discuss about the what storage classes. And inside the storage classes, storage classes means what are the things we are going to have here. And storage classes means what is the first inside the definition, what is the thing they are inside the definition, what is the first point they are explaining here means storage class represents what represents visibility. Storage class is represents what visibility. Just now we have discussed one example about the real time example as what car. Inside the car, what are the things are going to be visible? Only the user usage things are going to be visible. Steering is visible, seating is visible. Okay, whereas engine is visible inside the car or not? Engine is not visible, but depending on the engine itself, the car is going to be worked. And to here also, to make the data as invisible and to make some of the things as being visible means, we are going to use some concept called what storage classes. And here what is the represents what storage classes represents what visibility. And what is the visibility and the what location of a variable, where that variable has been stored, where that variable has been located. Those things are being represented by using the what storage classes. And and okay, uh, okay, those are the things are going to be done by what storage classes. And here what is the important keyword we need to be remember here means what the storage classes are going to be described. Variable scope nothing but what scope is nothing but what, suppose here I am declaring what is the scope means, what here means here I am declaring I am taking one notepad. mm, Notepad. And here uh, file new. And what is meant by the scope we are going to be seen here. Here I am declaring something as int x is equal to 10. Int x is equal to 10 I am declaring here. And here I am declaring something, a method called void main. Here I am declaring a method called void main. And inside this I am declaring something as what? Here I am writing some code. Here I am writing some code. And here what is the one more method I am declaring here means void xyz of. Here I am declaring the variable method called void xyz of. And here again I am writing some code. Inside this variable I have declared something as what? Int y is equal to 20. And here, okay, here afterwards I have closed here. And this x variable is going to be accessed from where to where here means from the starting point of the program to the what, and in all the it is going to be accessed inside the main method, as well as it is going to be accessed inside the what, xyz method. Whatever the x variable we have declared, that x variable is going to be accessed inside the what, main method, and the x variable is going to be accessed inside the what, xyz method also. Why it is going to be accessed in both the methods means we have been declared it as what, global. If you are declaring outside the main method means that such variables we are going to be called it as what, global variables. Such variables we are going to be called it as what, global variables. And which type of variable we are going to be called it as a local variable. If I am here inside the main method, if I am trying to access y value means it is not going to be accessed. Why? Because the y value scope is from where to where here means the y value scope is from here, from the declaration to the what, end. From here itself the scope of the y value has been destroyed. The scope of the y has been destroyed here itself. And this type of variable we are going to be called it as what, local variable. Here inside this example, int y is equal 20 is nothing but what, local variable, and int x is equal 10 is nothing but what, global variable. And scope is nothing but what, from where to where it is going to be accessed. From where to where it is going to be accessed, such type of thing we are going to be called it as scope. And here x is going to be accessed inside the entire program. Why? Because we have been declared it as what, globally. And y is going to be accessed only inside the xyz functionality. Why? Because we have declared y as a local variable inside the what, xyz functionality here. And all of you understood about the scope. Scope nothing but what, from where to where it is going to be accessed. And here what is the advantages are there by using the storage classes means it is going to describe what, it is going to describe something as variable scope. And it is going to describe location where the variable will be stored. And it is going to describe something as what, initialized value of the variable. If you are not assigning the value means what is the value it is going to be stored. If you are not assigning any value, then by default what is the value it is going to be contained. If you are assigning the value means what is the thing it is going to have. And such type of things are going to be described by using the what, storage classes. And the lifetime of the variable is also been described by using the what, storage classes. Just now what is the just now we have discussed about the what, this type of scenario we are going to be called it as what, lifetime of the variable. The lifetime of x variable is from where to where, from here to here. And the lifetime of the y variable is from where to where, is from here to here. This type of scenario we are going to be discussed inside the what, this type of scenario we are going to be described by using the what, storage classes. And inside the storage classes, which type of variable is going to be accessed by who can access the variables, who can access the variables. And in the previous example, this x variable is can be accessed by the what, x variable can be accessed by the what, main method. The x variable can also be accessed by the what, xyz. And whereas y variable is accessed by only the what, y variable is only being accessed by the what, xyz function. And this is the scenario is going to be explained by using the what, storage classes. And here inside the storage classes, what is the thing it is going to be described here. Storage class is used to represent what, information about the what, information about the what, variable. It is used to represent the information about the what, variable. And information about the variable means what is the which type of information it is going to be, which type of information it is going to be explained here, which type of information it is going to be indicated. And here I am declaring it as what, suppose here I am declaring it as a auto. And this variable is of which type, auto type variable. If I am indicating it as a keyword as what, static. And this type of variable we are going to be called it as what, static. And suppose if I am declaring it as register, and this type of variable we are going to be called it as what, register. And here extern. And suppose if I am declaring something keyword as what, extern. And when we are going to use these keywords, and what is the actual why we are going to use those keywords here. uh, okay, such type of things are going to be represented by using the what, storage classes. And a variable is not only associated with the what, here in the previous programs, inside in the previous programs we have declared the variable of what, data type itself. In the previous programs we have been declared the variables of which type, data type. Data type nothing but what, integer type or float type or char type or pointer type. Such type of things we have been indicated. But now inside the, by using the storage classes, what is the other thing we are going to be indicated here means, the variable is not only associated with the data type, its value, but also what, but also a storage class, but also a what, storage class. But also a storage class nothing but what, if we are using before the data type we are mentioning any keyword, storage class keyword, then automatically such type of variable we are going to be called it as what, storage class variables. They are going to be the data type variables can also be declared by using the which classes here means by using the storage classes. And that is the thing is going to be indicated by using the what, storage classes. And here what are the four keywords you need to remember under the storage classes. In our syllabus, what are the keywords they have been mentioned here means, in our syllabus what are the four keywords they have been mentioned here means, auto, extern, static, register. What is meant by the when we are going to use the auto keyword, and what is the extern means what, static means what, register. These four keywords are going to explain about the concept of what, about the concept called what, storage classes. About the concept called what, storage classes. Auto is what, it is a default storage class. If you are not indicating any type, if you are not indicating if you are not indicating anything before the data type, then automatically it is going to be considered it as what, auto. It is automatically being considered it as what, auto here. And extern is what, extern is nothing but a global variable. And if you are declaring in other program, if you are declaring in program one, if you are declaring the variable inside the program one, but you want to access the variable inside the program 2, means what is the keyword we need to be mentioned, what is the keyword we need to be mentioned. Suppose here what is meant by the external here means, inside the program 1, inside the program 1.c I have declared one variable as what, extern. Extern int something a is equal to 10. A is equal to 10 I have been declared. I want to use this variable, I want to use this variable in other program. I want to use this variable in other program, means what is the keyword we need to be mentioned? We need to mention a keyword as what? Extern. Then only we are going to use that variable inside the what? Here inside the program. Okay, inside the program 2.c, we can access that variable. We can access that. Okay, print. What is the variable we are going to be accessed here means? What is the variable we are going to be accessed here means? Printf, and here percentage d, and comma, what is the variable we are accessing here means a. And how we are accessing this variable inside the program 2.c means, uh, actually this variable has been declared inside this program or not inside this program. This variable has not been declared inside this program. This variable has been declared inside the program called program 1.c. We are using that variable inside the what? In other program means, if you want to use that variable inside the other program, if you want to use not only variable, if you want to use that function inside the other program, variable or function inside other program means, what is the keyword we need to be indicated here means, we need to indicate a keyword as what? Extern. We need to indicate a keyword as what? Extern. And suppose inside the program 1.c, if I am declaring something very one functionality as what? Void display, and here I am writing some code. Suppose if you want to access this functionality inside the program 2 means, what is the keyword I have been mentioned before the function declaration here? Before the function declaration, I have been mentioning a keyword as what? Extend. So we can use this function inside the other program just by calling, and here I am invoking that program directly here. Here I am calling that function directly from the where? From the program 1. Suppose this type of scenario has been arised inside the, we have written the code in one program. That code I want to be accessed. Inside one program, we have been declared some variables and some functions. That those variables and functions to be used in other program means, what is the keyword we need to be indicated? What is the keyword we need to be indicated? To make them accessed outside the program means, to make them accessed outside the program means, what is the keyword we need to be indicated? We need to indicate a keyword as what? Extern. We need to indicate a keyword as what? Extern here. And what is the one more variable we are having? We are having something as what? Static. We are having one variable as what? Static. Static means what? The static variables are going to be accessed until the program is going to be terminated. The static variable is going to be accessed until the program is going to be terminated. Suppose here, what is meant by the static here? Here inside this program, we have been declared something as what? Inside this program, we have been declared void, and here I have been declared something as a function called display function, and inside this I have declared something as int I is equal to 0, and here I am displaying something as what? Printf, and here what is the, here I am displaying the value as what? I, percentage I, percentage d, and comma I, and here I am closing that, and inside the main method I am trying to access void main, and here I am trying to access the, what is the method I am going to be accessed here means display, and here I am accessing something as a display, and here I am closing this method, and here what is the one more statement I have been written here means I place place, and what is the output it is going to be displayed here means, whenever it is calling this function means, it is going to call this function I is equal to 0 and prints I value as what is the value it is going to be displayed? It is going to display the value as what? 0 itself. And second time I am calling the same function. Second time I am calling the same function, and here again it is going to invoke that function, and I is equal to, what is the value it is having? 0, and it is going to be displayed second time also the value is going to be displayed it as what, 0, even though the I value has been incremented. Even though the I value has been incremented, here how many times the initialization is happening? Multiple times the initialization is happening. To avoid this means, here what is the keyword we are going to be indicated? We are going to indicate a keyword as what? Static. Static int I is equal to 0. First time it is going to be displayed it as 0, and second time the statement is not going to be executed directly. I value means what is the previously I value has been incremented, so it is going to display it as what? 1. It is going to display it as what? 1. And single time initialization to be accessed means, what is the keyword we need to be used? What is the keyword we need to be used? Static keyword we need to use. What is the keyword we need to be used? Static keyword. This variable is going to be accessed until the program is going to be terminated. Until the program is going to be terminated. But if I am not declaring it as a static means, where this variable scope has been ended, this variable scope has been ended from here to here. That's why all the times it is displaying it as what? 0. Suppose I want to create the variable scope until the program is to be terminated means, what is the keyword we need to be indicated? Static. Then automatically second time if I call the display method means, what is the value it is going to be displayed? 1 it is going to be displayed. Why it is going to display 1 here means, the statement is going to be executed only for the single time initialization is going to be done. And second time if this function is invoked means, already this variable has been initialized. That's why the value is going to be displayed it as what? 1. And after displaying 0 it has been incremented, so the value is going to be displayed it as what? 1. And this is the scenario is going to be explained by using the what? Static keyword. And register means what? Register means what here means, generally every variable is going to assign some memory. Generally every variable is going to allocate some memory. Every variable is going to be allocated some memory. Where that variable is going to be stored here means, the program variables are going to be stored inside a memory called RAM. The program variables are going to be stored inside a memory. And suppose int a have been declared, automatically the memory has been allocated. And that variable a is equal to 10 means that 10 is going to be stored inside a memory location. Address of a it is going to be stored. Suppose I want to make the access as faster. Access faster means, inside the other than the memory where we are going to store the data means, inside the registers we are going to store the data. Inside the registers we are going to store the data. Suppose I want to store the variable values inside the register for faster accessing means, what is the keyword we are going to be used here means, what is the keyword we are going to be used means, register keyword we are going to be used. What is the keyword we are going to be used? Register. What is the keyword we are going to be used here means, register keyword we are going to be used. Whenever we are declaring a variable of type, whenever I am declaring a variable in this manner means, int a is equal to 10, like this I am declaring means, the memory is going to be allocated inside the what? RAM, and it is going to have one memory. Suppose if I am declaring the variable as register, then it is not going to allocate the memory. This value is going to be stored inside the what? Register here. The memory is not going to be allocated. The memory is not going to be allocated. The value is going to be stored inside the what? Register. The value is going to be stored inside the what? Register here. And uh, okay, now in detailed we are going to discuss about the what is meant by the auto storage class, what is meant by the extern, what is meant by the static, what is meant by the register here. And in detail we are going to be discussed here. And okay, here we are going to discuss inside the, by default, what is the values are going to be stored inside the auto storage variables. Auto storage variables, what is the value it is going to be stored. And here what is the okay uh, okay here I have declared one variable as what, auto int age. I have not assigned any value here, is equal to 10 or 26, like that I have not been assigned. Then what is the value it is going to be stored? Auto, here I have declared it as what, auto. Here I have declared the variable type as what, auto. Then what is the value it is going to be stored? The garbage value is going to be assigned to this variable called age. The garbage value is going to be assigned to this variable called age. And here if I build and execute, here means compile and execute means what is the output it is going to be displayed. What is the output it is going to be displayed here means uh, here it is displaying something as what, here it is going to display what is the value it is going to be displayed. It is going to display some garbage value, and it is displaying some garbage value as what, 61. Age is equal to what is the value has been assigned. Even though we have not assigned any value, it has been taken, it has been assigned some value as what, 61. That 61 is nothing but what, garbage value. Suppose if we want to assign some garbage value automatically to the variable means, what is the keyword we are going to be declared? What is the keyword we are going to be declared? Auto. Even though we are not assigning the value, some value to be assigned automatically means what is the keyword we need to be indicated? What is the keyword we need to be indicated? Auto. Then what is the value is going to be stored inside this age here means, what is the value is going to be stored inside this age means, what is the value it is storing? Some garbage value it is storing here. What is the value it is storing? Some garbage value it is going to be stored. And now we are going to see one more example on auto variables. And here what is the variable I have been declared here means, inside the main method, I am accessing a method called add. And inside this add method I am declaring one variable as what, int auto int b is equal to what, 48. Auto int b is equal to what, 48. And here whenever I am assigning this value, a is equal to 13 and b is equal to 48, if this method is executed, from way to way, okay, here auto variable inside the what, function I am declaring. Here I am declaring something as what, 48. Is this 48 is going to be assigned to this variable or not, we are going to be checked. And here okay, here I am executing. And here I am executing the, and here what is the result it has been displayed? 48 plus 13 means what is the result? 61. And okay, we can access the auto variables only inside the main method, or we can also be access we can also be also access the auto variables inside the what, sub functions. Inside the functions also we are going to access something as what, auto variables. And by default what is the value? Garbage value. And inside the, we can also define it as what, auto variables are going to be accessed as what, which type of variables it is going to be accessed? Local variables, we can treat it as what, auto variables can be treated as what, which type of variables means local variables. Which type of variables? Local variables. Just now we have been discussed what is meant by the global variable and what is meant by the local variable. And the scope of this b variable is from here to here, and that's why it is accessed from here to here. Okay. And what is the one more thing we are, visibility level of auto variable. This is the important example about the what, auto variable, important keyword about the what, auto variable here. And here all of you listen carefully here. And here I have opened the block. Here I have declared it as what, auto int j is equal to 1. Here I have declared the scope has been started here. and j, the scope of the j variable has been started here. And again we have opened one more block. Inside that also I have declared it as what, int j is equal to 2. Again, once again I have declared the same type of variable with the keyword as what, auto int j is equal to. And again inside this one more block I have been indicated auto int j is equal to what, 3. Then printf percentage d j, then what is the value it is going to be displayed? J is equal to what, 3. And this j is equal to 3 scope has been started here, and ended where here means ended here. And uh, here after closing this brace, here I am trying to access again once again the j value. Then what is the value it is going to be displayed means j is equal, it is not going to display j is equal to 3, it is going to display the j is equal to, what is the value it is going to be displayed means j is equal to 2 it is going to be displayed. J is equal to, what is the value it is going to be displayed? J is equal to 2. And the scope has been started here, and the scope has been ended here. Here I have been ended. Once again printf percentage d n j, then what is the value it is going to be displayed? J is equal to what, 1. And the scope has been started here, and the scope is going, okay, not at all ended here, that's why it is still, what is the value it is displaying? 1 it is displaying, 1 it is displaying. This type of scenario we are calling it as what, visibility level. We are calling it as what, visibility level. The j is equal to 3 level is what, from here to here. And j is equal to 2 level is what, from where to where it is accessing? From here to here it is accessing. And j is equal to 1 is going to be accessed from where to where? Here means from here to here it is going to be accessed. And if I compile and execute this program here, if I compile the and execute this program here means what is the value it is going to be displayed? And j is equal to 3. Here what is this program? Here I am compiling and executing this program, and whether the same output is going to be displayed or not, it is going to be checked. And okay, and here j value has been displayed it as what, 3. And after that j value has been displayed it as what, j value has been displayed it as what, 2. And after that j value has been displayed it as what, 1. J value has been displayed it as what, 1. That's why we are seeing this scenario, we are going to call the j value as a global variable or local variable. Even though we have declared outside, it is not acting as a global variable, it is acting as a what, a local variable itself. It is acting as a what, a local variable itself. It is acting as what, a local variable itself. And this is all about what, all about what, auto keyword. This is all about what, auto keyword. And now we are going to discuss what is the concept we are going to be discussed here means now we are okay. Now what is the keyword we are going to be discussed now here means what is the keyword we are going to be discussed now here means external keyword. This is the important thing you need to be remember here. External means just now what is the from one function, one program to the other program, how that variable is going to be accessed. And this external variables we are going to be called it as what, variables we are going to be called it as what, global variables. We are going to be called it as what, global variables. From program 1 to other program 2, how we are going to be accessed, how we are going to be accessed. For accessing that purpose, what is the keyword we need to be indicated before the variable declaration or before the method declaration? What is the keyword we need to be indicated here means external keyword we need to be indicated. And external keyword is also called as what, global variables. And uh, okay, no, what is the notice we are having? External variable cannot be initialized, it is already being defined inside the what, original. Suppose inside the program 1 we have declared it as what? Extern int a is equal 10. Inside the program 2, both the programs are existed inside the same project. If I am trying to declare once again int a is equal to int a, like that I am declaring, that such type of declaration is not possible. This is the important note we need to be remember here. And all of you see this example here. Inside this example, what is the keyword we have been used here means, uh, what is the functionality we have been defined inside the original function here means, we have defined something as what? We have defined a function called void display function. And inside this function I am trying to access inside the which program means, inside a program called main.c I want to be accessed. Then what is the keyword we are going to be, what is the keyword we are going to be declared here means, we are declaring something as what? Extern. And all of you listen carefully here. And now we are going to see this program practically here. Here we are going to see this program practically. And inside the code blocks, how we are going to access this, how we are going to access this program here. And here I am opening file, open, otherwise recent projects. Here we have to create these two programs as a project. That's why I have already been created it as a project. And here I am opening something as what? Extern. And inside this, two programs we are having. What are the two programs we are having here means, one program as what? Main.c, one more program as what? Original file.c. One program as what? Main.c, one program as what? Original file.c. Here I am double clicking on that. The main.c program has been existed. And here I am double clicking on the one more program as what? Original file. And inside the original file dot c, is there any main method here? Here we are not having any main method. Inside this only we have declared one method as what? Void display. And okay, public void display. And what is the thing it is displaying? Display from the what? Display from the what? Original file. Display from what? Original file message it is displaying. And where we are going to invoke this function, from where we are going to call this, use this function here. And inside this project itself, we are having one more program as what? We are having one more program as what? Main.c. And here inside the main.c, here I have declared one variable as what? What is the variable I have been declared? Void display. The method signature is same or different. Here whatever the method signature we have been defined, the same method signature we are indicating here. But before the declaration, what is the keyword we have been used? We have been used it as what? Extern. Extern means we are not going to write the code here, just we are going to access the code from where we are going to be accessed, from other program we are going to be accessed. Here what is the other program, what is the neighboring program we are having? Here what is the neighboring program we are having? Original file. And inside that program the actual code has been written for the what? The code has been written for the what? Display method. And here we are using something as what? Extern. And here if I am invoking this display method, this method code has not been defined here. This method code has been defined in original file. What is the output it is going to be displayed? Here if I compile and execute means, what is the output it is going to be displayed? Here here I am compiling and executing. And here what is the output it is going to be displayed here means, display, what is the output? Display from what? Okay, what is the output it is going to be displayed here means, it is displaying something as what? Display from what? Original file. Display from original file. Actually this statement has been displayed by using this statement. This is the purpose of using the what? Extern. To access the other program methods, to access the other program variables means what is the keyword we need to be used? What is the keyword we need to be used? Extern. Extern is nothing but which type of variable? Extern is a which type of variable? Global type variable here. This is all about the usage of what? External keyword here. This is all about the usage of what? External keyword. And now we are going to what is the what is the uh, okay uh, now what is the next statement we are going to be discussed here. Now what is the other keyword we are going to be discussed? Static keyword we are going to be discussed. uh, what is the keyword we are going to be discussed here is static. And here all of you listen carefully about the static. Static acts as a what? Local static variable. And static variable is used within the function or file, acts as a what? Local static variable. They can also be used as what? Used as what? Global variables. They can also be used as what? Global variables. For the entire program, it is going to be acted as a entire program until the program is terminated. It is going to be acted as what? Local. But from function to function, it is going to be accessed as what? Global variable here. It is going to be accessed as what? Global variable. And here now we are going to see one example about the static. Here file, and here an file, and C or C++, and here I am opening one code. And okay, here I am declaring inside the storage classes. I am declaring one more example as what? Here I am declaring one example as what? New folder, uh, example 7. Here I am declaring it as what? Example 7. And inside that, here I am declaring about the static demo. Static demo. Static demo I am declaring. And here all of you listen carefully here. And here I am declaring what is the statement I am writing here means hash include stdio dot h. If I am not declaring static means what is the thing it is going to be happened. If I am declaring the static means what is the thing it is going to be happened. And here what is the variable, what is the method I am declaring here means void display. And inside this, here I am declaring one variable as what? Which type of variable I am declaring? Int I is equal to 0. I is equal to 0. And printf. Okay, printf, what is the variable we are going to be displayed here means here I am declaring something I is equal to percentage d, and comma I value. I is equal to percentage d I value. And here I am indicating something as I plus plus. And after this statement, here I am writing something as what? Void main method. What is the method I am writing here means void main method I am declaring. And here what is the method? Void main. Void main method. And here I am opening the brace. And inside this, what is the code we are going to be written here? Here I am trying to access the display method. Display method. Here I am trying to access display method for first time. Here I am trying to access the display method for second time. Then what is the output it is going to be displayed? And here I have saved the program. And here I am trying to access the program here. Build and run. And here no errors it has been displayed. And what is the output it is going to be displayed here? Here it is going to display it as what? I is equal to 0. I is equal to 0 it is displaying. Second time also it is displaying it as what? I is equal to 0. Second time also it is displaying it as what? I is equal to 0. Why? Because why it is displaying both the times I is equal to 0 here means The scope of the I has been started here, and the scope of the I has been ended here. But I want to make it access until the program is terminated. That static variable need to be accessed. Then what is the keyword we need to be indicate? What is the keyword we need to be indicated here means, here we need to indicate it as what? What is the keyword we are going to be indicated? Static. Here I am declaring the keyword as what? Static. And in the previous case, what is the output it has been displayed? It has been displayed output as what? I is equal to 0, I is equal to 0. By seeing that the scope of the I variable has been started at display method and ended at where? Ended at the display method. End of the display method, it has been ended. And now if I am trying to access, now the I variable I have been declared it as what? Static. Now I have been declared I variable as what? Static. And if I am compiling and executing this variable, then what is the value it is displaying? Now it is displaying it as what? I is equal to, first time, what is the I value it has been displayed? 0. After 0, what is the value has been incremented? I plus plus means what? 1. And here what is the second time? Here I am executing something as invoking the display method. Once again it has been invoked, but the initialization has been already done. That's why how it is understanding the initialization is already done means, we have applied a keyword as what? Static. That's why second time, what is the value it is displaying here means, whatever the incremented value is there, that incremented value it is displaying it as what? I is equal to what? 1 it is displaying. And this is all about the usage of what? Static. The static variable is going to be accessed until the program is going to be terminated. And the static variable is going to be accessed as a what? Local, and accessed as what? A local static variable, or it can also be declared as a what? Global variable. This is all about the usage of what? Static variable here. And now we are going to see the last variable called register. What is meant by the register variable? What is the for faster accessing purpose, what is the variable we are going to be used? For quick accessing purpose, what is the variable we are going to be used? We are going to use something as what? We are going to declare the variables of type as what? Registers. Where those values are going to be stored means inside the CPU registers, not inside the memory. Here register storage class, when you want to store local variables within the functions or blocks in CPU registers, instead of what? Instead of where it is going to be stored, instead of what? RAM, it is going to be stored inside the what? CPU registers. And okay, now we are going to see where these values are going to be stored. Practically we are going to see about the register keyword here. And all of you listen carefully here. What is the program we are going to be? Okay, register variable here. uh, all of you, before going to the register, all of you see what is meant by the in the previous class, whatever the statements are there, in this manner we are going to be declared. X is equal 10. That 10 has been stored inside the which location? That X is equal to 10 is being stored inside the which location? To find out the address means, what is the statement we are going to be used? Ampersand X. Ampersand X. We are going to indicate it as what? Ampersand X. And for displaying the what? Address. And here I am saving the program. Here I am saving the program and executing it. And if I am executing it means, what is the thing it is going to be displayed? It is displaying the address of X as what? Some 2686732. It is by seeing this, we are confirming that it has been stored inside the what? RAM. Inside the memory it has been stored. That's why the some address has been assigned. Some okay, it is having some address. It has been stored inside the what? Memory. And here what is the suppose the same statement I am using, but here I am declaring it as what, keeping it as what, register. Here I am keeping it as what, register int x is equal to 10. Is it going to display any memory address or not? We are going to be confirmed here. Is it going to display any memory address or not? We are going to be confirmed. Here, if I compiled this program, means what is the thing it is throwing? It is throwing something as what? What is the error message it is displaying? Address of the register variable x is requested. Address of the register variable x is requested. Here inside this line, it is showing something as what? Error. By seeing this error, what is the thing we are understanding? The register variables are not going to be stored inside the what? Inside the what? RAM. The register variables are going to be stored inside the what? CPU registers. Why the people are going to store inside the CPU registers means for faster accessing purpose, for faster accessing than the normal variables. The people are going to store inside the what? Registers. While storing inside the registers, it is not going to allocate the memory. It is not going to allocate memory. And suppose if I am keeping this statement inside the comment, and here I am just accessing that x value, and here I am saving the program, and here I am build and compile, and now the program is successfully compiled, and now the value is going to be accessed, and x is equal to 10, and x is equal to 10. To store the values inside the register means what is the keyword we need to be used? To store the variables inside the register means what is the keyword we need to be used? Means we need to use a keyword as what? Register keyword we need to be used. And what is the important point to be noted? The register variables are not going to be stored inside the what? RAM, and the register variables are not going to allocate any memory. That's why we are unable to display the address of that particular variable. And the register variables are directly stored inside the what? Register for faster accessing purpose. For faster accessing purpose, we are going to use what? Registers here. And this is all about what? This is all about the concept called registers. And today's class we are going to end here. Before ending, we are going to see one tabular format about the what? Storage classes. And here what are the auto storage classes are what? Auto, register, extern, static local, static global. And here what are the default values it is having? Default values are what? For static local and global value, what is the default value? It is going to be stored zeros. And for which one the garbage values are going to be stored here means auto and garbage. Some of the operating systems are going to store something as auto value as 0. Some of the operating system values are going to be stored garbage values. So here they are mentioning something as what? Unpredictable. And they are mentioning the value as what? Unpredictable. We cannot know whether it is going to display it as 0, or we cannot know whether it is going to display it as a garbage value. And where the values are going to be stored, auto value, external value, and static values are going to be stored inside the where memory it is going to be stored, but register values are going to be stored inside the where CPU registers. Register values are going to be stored inside the where CPU registers. And auto variable scope is from where to where? Within the function or block. And register variable scope is also within the function or block. And a static variable scope is also what? Within the function or block. But external variable and static global variables are scope is what? The static variable, global variables, and static external variables are what? Scope is what? External variables are entire file and other files where the variable is declared as external, where the variable has been declared as what? Where the variable has been declared as external. and it is going to be accessed throughout the program. That's why we have been indicated it as what, global. And these external static and static local and static global lifetime is going to be accessed in the runtime, and whereas auto and register lifetime is within the what, function or block. Okay, this is the table is describing total scenario, total explanation about